I think overall this patch has like it feels more greedy to play. I feel like everyone has more resources and they have more gold. And the change of the bounties and the change of the outposts, it makes those supports they always get some gold and they always get experience. Like right now, every game is like minute 10. I rarely see a hero with like level 4 unless he's like playing really bad. But there's like a lot of action. I really enjoy the level 1 thing. I think this new bounty rune setup it makes it really cool. Like how you decide to take the fight and what's the carry gonna do. Like from my perspective, sometimes I'm like, can I add something to the fight level 1, or can I go around and just take the rune and be like, yeah, take your rune, motherfucker.
They added a bunch of trees on towers, and then they made the TP on towers like bigger. You can TP like further away into the trees, so it makes defending towers like really easy. And since they added a lot more trees around the towers, it makes it like much easier to defend.
The biggest things are generally map changes.
I couldn't tell you where to ward, like, if my life depended on it. I don't know where to put sentry wards, I don't know anything. It's a mess.
Whenever a patch of like this magnitude comes out, there's always something like hiding that people just like haven't figured out yet. I think people are gonna really experiment in the offlane because, you know, the default was just buy Necrobook on every offlaner, you know, no boots. So they can't do that anymore. So like people are really gonna like try to find new ways to like play the offlane.
Oh, the satanic change. I like the satanic change because they removed the status resistance from that item and it was like really bad. And then they like gave it another thing, right? So now if you're like some hero that wants like a dispel, cooldown's lower as well and it can't be dispelled. I don't know. It has its places now.
Yeah, I thought initially when I read it, it's gonna be like really strong, like SNY satanic is gonna be a really nice item progression. But the problem is, I don't think you buy it with the purpose to dispel. Like the desire to buy the item doesn't really change in my mind. Like if heroes that wanted a satanic last patch are gonna want to this patch anyway. I don't think the selling point will change. Like either you decide to go heart or satanic.
I guess Lone Druid maybe. We were picking Lone Druid at the like end of last patch, like in the BTS tournament. We kind of strategized it, and then they buffed it a lot. They added the shard. Now like dispels the bear, so you can remove like Yules if your bear gets like Yuled in the air, or if you get Spear Vessel and stuff. So I think that's a hero that not many people play anymore these days. And it's probably something that should be considered.
I mean, I think the largest change was the Necro removal. I think it enables a lot of supports where they otherwise weren't. Because you actually just couldn't play certain heroes in the Necro book. It's like impossible. And that's a lot of reason why people really lowered the pick value on some of these like ranged 5s, for example, or even the ranged 4s. Because you end up playing these squishy backline subs for some beast or like a Necro, and there was literally no counter in the game. They had Purge, they had True Sight. Like you couldn't Glimmer it, you couldn't Ghost it, you couldn't do anything. It was just really annoying. So hopefully that helps some of these ranged 5s and 4s that kind of got overlooked for a long time come back a little bit.
I think there are a lot of cheesy heroes that have been getting buffed, like bit by bit, each patch, you know, they've been getting buffed, and now they're like secretly OP. Like I think Huskar's like really cheesy right now. Like everything about him got buffed. I still think Huskar's like he's not really like he's not a real hero, you know. He's not like one of these classic standard core heroes like Juggernaut. You know, he has immunity, he has a heal, he goes for Roche, he buys Battle Fury. But the Huskar, man, like he keeps getting buffed, and I look at it and I'm like is he really viable? Like he gets unpicked every patch, but he keeps getting buffed, you know. So like, is he gonna get broken? I feel the same way about Meeple. Like every time I look at the change of this hero, I'm like, like IS like cheese is so bad because like you don't know about it until like you're playing this game. The enemy team has last pick. You feel like, oh yeah, we got this trap. What the fuck are you gonna pick? What the fuck are they gonna pick? And then they pick, and you're like Meeple. You're like, oh my god, not the avid Meeple. Like some guy they pick Huskar Rock, and you're like, no, how are we gonna beat this thing? So I think it's something to watch out for. The new Brute Mothers, the new Meeples, and the new Huskars are like low-key broken, but people like you need to be a specialist.
The TPs being 100 gold and you getting a free one every time you die will probably mean a lot more just subs dying and not really caring. I think there'll be a bigger emphasis on just like making your enemies feel bad that they're like sitting there in the lane. You know, you don't want to kill them. They just know they can't do anything and they don't want to walk to base, so they're going to either have to suicide or, you know, some more strength carries I think we'll see. I think Omni Knight might be powerful with this new stuff, some carry tiny. Oh, we're going to see a lot of Solar Crest. I can tell you that one for sure. They made that item so much cheaper. It's just like 3,500 or 30. It's super cheap now. Like everybody's gonna buy it. If you're not buying a Solar Crest, you're probably losing. Mech, the mana cost buff. That's also a huge change for a lot of people because a lot of these heroes don't actually have like 200 mana to spend on mech, but now it's only 100. You know, they'll pick it up casually. Might see some Furion with their mechs. You know, just a lot more casual mechs.
The Battle Fury, like it got nerfed over the last like 2 years, I want to say, maybe 3. I feel Battle Fury has gone from 70% cleave to 40% cleave. I think like over a long period of time, it's just been going down 10%. Every year it just gets little line in the notes, 10%. And then I feel now it's like, to put it in like comparison, it's as strong, the item Battle Fury is as strong as CK's talent. When you read that line, it's 35% cleave. Kind of dog shit. Like you just read it, you're like, that's kind of whatever. The item is like more than the cleave, of course, but it's just kind of funny. Like he's kind of forcing the direction, like making you really decide what items are good for you and forcing the meta in a certain way, which I think is like kind of obvious. Like if you read the notes, like Quelling Blade for melee got nerfed, Battle Fury got nerfed. Kind of feels he's trying to change it a little bit by little bit.